Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and we are building the LEGO UCS X-wing Starfighter. Set 75-355. We have 2 bags left, but each bag number has 2 physical bags. So we've got basically 8 and 8.5 and 9 and 9.5 left. Assuming that they are the last 2 remaining wings. And any engines that come off the back of them would be my guess. And it barely fits in the frame. So there's going to be a lot of shuffling this thing around, I think, as we go through this. But we're going to just dive right in, get going on the bag. We might finish it today. There's a chance we might finish it. I might also stream a little bit longer today. I might switch from LEGO to something else after. We'll see. We'll see. I've been watching a lot of Satisfactory videos, and I'm itching to get back into that game. I don't know where we're gonna put this. Now that it's got the wings on it, it just does not want to go anywhere. Maybe I'll put it behind me. It's just tricky to move because my mic is in the way. Yeah, it's tricky. How do I grab this without pieces falling off? The answer is I don't. So we're gonna move Luke Skywalker. I'm just gonna grab it like this. And then I will very carefully move that back when the time comes. That would be a good doubleheader, yeah. So the thing is with Satisfactory, I stopped playing because update 7 was giving me trouble on the computer, but they've since made some patches. And the other thing was that I felt like it was pulling me away, and what ended up happening was in June I took a look at all of my data. I guess for people that, there's probably no one here that isn't aware that I did a quarterly in July and talked about the view numbers and progress on Twitch and all that. And essentially I was streaming like an extra 100 hours in the spring of 2023 compared to the spring of 2022. And it made no difference on the channel. So I had to dial things back because I needed some extra time during the week to do things like edit podcasts and things like that. And as a result, I ended up cutting my Wednesday stream. And my Wednesday stream was my Satisfactory stream. So that's why I have not played Satisfactory in a while. But also, I remember that the game was giving me a little bit of trouble. But I've been watching I Am Kibitz and What Darren Plays and kind of getting that itch. I think a lot of it comes from the Crafter being released on the snapshots for Minecraft, and I'm now just like, I'm thinking very technically. Like I want to do some technical builds, and I was holding out and hoping that this fall we'd get update 8 from Coffee Stain, and I could just update to the early access version of Satisfactory Update 8. But they've had a lot of trouble with switching the engines. I don't know whether my computer can handle the new engine, so like there's all kinds of questions that I have. So me waiting until Update 8 is out on early access for Satisfactory, I might be waiting until 2024, which I don't really want to take that long of a break from Satisfactory. So one of the things that I'm thinking about doing, because outside of some small sets, like little gift sets that came with the X-wing, there's no other Lego that I have right now, and I don't have my eyeballs on any Lego to buy to do another Lego stream. So I mean, I can look into my Lego in the box in the storage and see what I've got from my old school Lego, but I don't have any new sets. I'm also running out of room to put new sets, so there may be a time when I switch the Friday stream from Lego to Satisfactory. I don't know. I think that having the Friday stream as something that is flexible for me might be good. The Lego stream is more of just a fun stream for me, a chance to connect with everybody here and hang out. It is not a high attendance stream by any stretch. Captain Gave, welcome in. Thanks for saying hi. The Lego stream is pretty chill. I would say the Satisfactory streams are pretty chill too. There's a lot going on screen, but they're really laid back because there's a lot of thinking and spreadsheets and all that stuff. I was watching what Darren plays, and his Satisfactory playthrough, it's really interesting. And I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but he's building certain factories, but he's doing so in a way and giving a tutorial for people watching if they wanted to copy his factories exactly. And I've had people comment to that effect on my West Hill build, like leaving comments or asking in live chat, how many blocks is this? How many blocks high is this? Because I'm attempting to copy your West Hill build, like block for block for block. I'm just like, I'm happy to inspire people, but there's something very strange about someone wanting to copy your build exactly in a creative video game. I find it a really strange experience for me. And maybe that's just me. If there's anybody in the chat that's like, no, I really like copying people, let me know. Copy can be a way to learn things, though I would think that the VODs are enough. That's what I mean. Like, I think the concepts and the learning are there, right? Like, with Satisfactory, for example, like if you're trying to figure out how to make modular frames, and you watch somebody else do it, so you understand the process. I would think that for one, hopefully you'd want to put your own creative spin on it, but then two, like wouldn't you be removing part of the gameplay by, instead of playing Satisfactory and puzzling through the ratios yourself because maybe you're in a different area or you've got a different way you want to do things, then like aren't you removing gameplay? So there's no puzzle. Like if you just copy what somebody else has done right down to the ratio of the machines, then like congratulations, you can copy something. You know, like you've not, have you really learned anything? I'm being a little devil's advocate on this, but it's a bit like Pixelriff's one chunk stuff. People like to recreate builds. Just my thought. Yeah, no, I get recreating a build, but like, I don't know. Like I find it strange that. But I guess the difference for me with Minecraft is that there's no puzzle. Like I understand copying a redstone farm because you don't have the redstone knowledge to then do it. But then when I copy a redstone farm, I also decorate it or scale it down to meet the needs of my world versus the world of the person that created it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like with these games, you're missing so much if you don't put your own spin on it. But I mean, I'm a really creative person, so maybe that's just me just not computing why someone wouldn't be able to then take something and be more creative with it, you know? Where that's just something that comes so naturally to me. Yeah, I think that's true, Alcorn. The one chunk builds from Pixelriffs are presented as a tutorial. Like, this is how you build this. And I've seen that from like a creator like Mythical Sausage, where he's like, you go up 4 blocks and you do stair, slab, and then you go up 4 more blocks. And you like, so he's showing you how to create the shapes, and that's presented as a tutorial. But Westill is not presented as a tutorial. So to have people be like, whoa, 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 can you tell me how you did this block for block? I'm just like, no. And part of it is just like, you know, and we've talked to Flip about this, where he doesn't release his worlds for people because what ends up happening is that somebody recreates it block for block on a platform like Instagram, claims it as a tutorial, and claims it as theirs. And then they're getting Instagram traffic, potentially YouTube traffic, off of a build that, you know, Flip put his hard time and experience and creative knowledge into. And as an artist, I understand that, you know, I don't own a copyright on anything I build in Minecraft, but I also would not want someone to be posting YouTube videos full of their copies of my Westhill build. You know, like that to me would be in bad faith. Like it wouldn't be anything that you could do anything about other than say that's kind of cheap and rude. You know, it would be like me popping into Infinity Cove, my patron server, really liking something that you did, Elkhorn, and deciding, you know, I want this on the Citadel, and without talking to you about it, just copy it, right? And then pretend that I made it, that I came up with it. Now, when I've done stuff like that on other builds, on like a redstone farm, I always keep it in the back of my mind. Like I think the other day we were at the moss farm on the Citadel, and the first thing I said was, this is Ilmango's moss farm that I downscaled to suit my own. Very clearly saying like, I didn't make this up. This is not something that I did, you know? Do we have anything else that'll go up there? I don't know if we do. I always forget to drink my coffee in the first parts of this stream. Cosmic Dancer says, I can't visualize things in my head, and I really struggle with things like reading shapes and shape language. Copying a build is my way of learning. Yeah, I mean, I get that. You know, and I would say, you know, even as an artist, when I talk to young artists, sometimes, you know, I'll say like, look, you know, as long as you're not presenting it as yours, you know, emulation is a great way to learn how to do things. I think the thing that I find so confusing is that I get so much satisfaction out of coming up with something in Minecraft that I don't want someone to then just copy what I've done and not experience that gameplay. I guess I'm using Minecraft as an example, but this could be for any game, any building game. Like if you were to copy what I did, not you specifically Cosmic, but just somebody in general, then you wouldn't have that satisfaction of like, checkbox, I learned to do the thing. Do I have... Maybe these will fit. Not bad, not bad, not bad. You know, sometimes I wonder whether it'd be easier to identify these pieces if they were upside down. That sounds like where a Creative Commons license can come in, says Obu. You make your work freely available to others to use as long as they acknowledge the source. Yeah, that's a decent way to look at it. I mean, another really good example would be, you know, the Spawn Chunks podcast. You know, like that's something where people are learning from it, but I don't want people to, you know, take clips of it. Although that's not a Creative Commons license. That's a like we don't have a registered copyright, but I mean, it's a Canadian podcast as far as any legality and stuff goes, so copyright is automatic in Canada. Which is something people don't often realize, if, you know, considering I've got a heavy US audience. It's a lot more simple up here. I mean, you still want to do your due diligence and have like copies of stuff, records. Ooh. Seeing some parallel here with the art world, the concept of tracing as a rather divided subject. Says Kel. Some folks would argue that you're not learning anything by tracing, but on the other side of the coin, tracing can be a viable way to learn shape and form. Debate aside, giving credit where credit due becomes the issue. Yeah, no, that's the thing, right? I don't think, and I'll argue as someone that, you know, has a degree in art and spent the better part of the first half of my life working in art, and then the other half working professionally in art. I would say that tracing, you're going to learn less tracing than you would by copying. Because as a young artist, I absolutely would find some like drawing of Garfield or something like that and copy it over myself. And because of that process, I think you learn more about shape and form, especially if you learn how to do the underdrawing and the sketches and things like that. I think that is where the strength of copying comes from. Later on, especially in my comic work, like with Starcrossed, some of the things that I ended up doing was you'd see something like the way that someone like Frank Cho drew a hand, or the way that he posed a character. And then I would try to incorporate that into my own style, copy the technique, but because it was only a hand, or because it was only pose or something, it would be entirely different, and the rest of my drawing would be my own. And that I just would get to a point with my drawing where I'm just like, I like where this is going, but I'm not able to complete this the level that I want. And so I'm going to draw everything up into, I'm just going to use the hand as an example just because it's easy. I can't figure out how to draw the hand on this character, so I'm going to draw my character the way that I want, and then when it comes to the hand, I'm going to draw it the way that this other person draws it and try to make it look like mine as best I can. And over time, you learn, and then you pick up some new skills, and then you can sort of incorporate that. But those little notes sometimes come through. And I remember somebody paid me this huge compliment. I think it was a local interview here in the Maritimes. And it was very kind of them to say that when they were looking at Starcrossed, they thought it felt a lot like Frank Cho and Bill Watterson, who would have been my two favorite illustrator cartoonists at the time. And I was just like, that is, you know, a huge compliment. And they were very careful in the way that they worded the question compliment in the interview, because they said, like, I don't want to say, like, it doesn't, you're not copying them, it has that feeling. And I thought, well, that's awesome, like that's a good eye, because those are exactly the inspirations for what I've been doing, you know. And so in that way, it was really cool that I felt like I had done what I wanted to do, you know. Like, there's I don't remember who made this quote, but the quote is generally, good artists borrow, great artists steal. And the spirit of that quote is that if you're inspired by someone and you learn how to do something new, but then make it your own so that it's not obvious that you're just being derivative and copying someone else's technique, then you've learned something, and therefore it's now a skill that you have rather than work that you're copying. Anyway, I thought it was a really cool compliment. Yeah, I know what you mean, Dan, by like copying a build but then putting your own spin on it, like changing a block palette. Or, I mean, you do that. No, that's not you, it's Elkhorn. Elkhorn does that on Infinity Cove, and we've done that on the Citadel too, where you find something that's built in Lego, like a medieval house or something creative like that, and it's built in Lego, but then and this is different, this isn't copying, this is like translating, or what's the word I'm looking for? I'm drawing a blank today. What's the word when you take something from one medium and put it into another? Translate, I guess? No. Incorporate. Adapting? That's a good one, actually. Yeah. Adapting. That's what it is. So you take something like a Lego build, and then you adapt the process and the build to work within Minecraft, because you've got different materials, different colors, different blocks. We've done a couple things in Westell that were inspired by Lego. Also some things that are inspired by ArtStation.com. I mean, granted, I'm a really creative person, so like, you know, when I go and do something like take some images of Transformers and translate them or use them as inspiration for builds in Satisfactory, then it's not, I'm not trying to build a Transformer. I'm trying to take colors and shape language and stuff, and that's a lot more advanced. But I do that with almost everything. Like I absolutely get inspiration for all kinds of things in that way. Yeah, I think adapting is probably the best word for it. Something else that I was thinking about with the Satisfactory videos that I've been watching is that like I really feel like I've started something in Satisfactory and I've left it unfinished. And I really kind of want to move on, especially now that we've got the capabilities of a big power facility that I built, so we don't have a power ceiling. Like, that's up and functioning, and then I went back and I started doing other things, and really what I should have done was finish the decoration on the power facility, and I never did it. So there's no lack of things to do in that game, just that I lost that stream day. And I think part of me is like realizing that I might be getting that stream day back in Friday. And I could switch it up. I could do it on Thursdays and then do Friday, Saturday, Sunday Minecraft. You know, like I haven't decided yet. The other thing is that we're coming up on, you know, fall and winter weather here in Nova Scotia, which means that there's a lot less to do outside, and, you know, chances are I'll be doing larger single grocery trips rather than, you know, small ones, and I'll be home a bit more as the weather gets cold and grows, and so there's a chance I might have more time to stream. I have an idea for Halloween. I don't normally do Halloween streams, but I'm thinking that Tuesday I might be able to do something fun. Teaser. I'll leave it at that. I'll let you know in the Discord. So obviously this is going to be a wing, and it's going to be one of the top wings. So this will be a little bit different, at least, I think, than the other wings. I don't think they're all a mirror image of one another. I think those will fit. Nope. I think these we might just put them all together. They end up coming up last anyway. Because now we know those are how you attach the wing to the fighter, so we know what's up. Music is satisfactory today. Yeah, actually, this is the Lego Satisfactory playlist. This is the music that I play when I play Satisfactory. I feel like this last bit is very, very crooked. You think this is a good idea until you do something where there's pieces that roll. And you're like, why did I choose to do this? What part of my brain said, I know. Let's try to line up everything straight, especially when they roll around. Overall, though, not too shabby. Cosmic Dancer says, I wish I possessed the skill to work from an inspiration image to put it into Minecraft. I wonder if that might be something I could do as like a tutorial thing. I don't do very many edited videos, but I could do maybe a stream or something where I like take an image, something that's not Westhill related, you know, but just kind of do it as a one-off. Take an image and then translate it and then kind of explain the process of what I'm thinking. I don't know if I've skipped ahead or not. Bag 8, here we go. I tried to make it straight, but I think I kind of curved up by the time the end came. This goes here. No, there. Like that. So hopefully this will be a little bit different than the other ones that we built, just because it is the top wing. I don't know. It feels very similar. Captain Gabe, now the music has to get intense. I don't know if this playlist ever gets intense. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into Satisfactory. I was hoping to have more information to talk about this week, but they didn't do a state of dev. The Coffee Stain community manager Snoot didn't do anything this week, so I just haven't looked into it. One of the other things that I could do, which wouldn't affect the Devastator build at all, is I could take the Metroplex save and update that to update 8, and then just play around in that a little bit and see. But one of the things that I was considering was copying that structure, because I realized with Satisfactory, oh, what's the name? Satisfactorycalculator.com. I think I can actually download or upload my save of Metroplex and then copy that structure and move the structure into the save on Devastator, and that would be really interesting. But then Metroplex is kind of doing a lot of the same things that Devastator is doing, so like it would be kind of redundant. It would just be there for the cool factor. We could repurpose what was happening. I think that we're probably farther ahead on Metroplex in terms of the pieces, the components that are being built. But then I run into that same battle where I don't want to split my time between two massive projects. I really should focus on just one. I think that's one of the things I would want to try and do when I return to Satisfactory and Devastator is focus on one thing and then not deviate from it until we've reached a point where it's complete, you know? Farmer Man, welcome in. Hello. Yeah, the copy paste thing is complicated, but I would do it. If the need arose, like if I felt like I didn't want to start from scratch in the grassy fields, I would probably, I don't know, probably consider it. Because it's not like I want to get rid of the Metroplex save. But and the problem with going back to the Metroplex save is that we don't have the same power facility. So the bottleneck in the Metroplex save is that we have very, very little power compared to the 60,000 megawatts that I did in the Megatron power plant on the Devastator save. So for anybody that's tuning into this and not knowing about Satisfactory, I'm probably talking Greek, but I feel like this is a little bit different. The wing. I was talking with Alistair, who's back streaming now on the Citadel, and he's working on some new redstone, and we were talking about the new copper bulb, and we both had an absolute riot watching Mumbo Jumbo's latest video on the copper bulb, because of course the copper bulb can be used to make a T flip-flop circuit in Minecraft Redstone, and Mumbo has called it the cop flop or the copper flopper, which it is hilarious, and I hope it sticks. Like, I hope for the rest of that block's kind of usefulness in that state that people in the community call it a cop flop, because it just so spot on and very Mumbo and very, very funny. I think one of my favorite things about the Minecraft community is like the names that they come up for these things. You know, like everybody knows what an etho hopper clock is. That's into redstone. Everybody knows what an impulse SV sorting filter is. Or I guess the item filter doesn't necessarily carry the impulse SV item filter name on it, but it's kind of a standard item filter now. I think anybody that knows what's up knows that Impulse is the one that designed it, but Flip cop? Nope. Cop flop. As a software engineer, says Obu, I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do with a one block flip-flop. Yeah. So just for example, Obu, since as a software engineer, you are probably more adept at explaining this, because I think I understand the way in which a T flip-flop is implemented in Minecraft. But if you were to explain what a T flip-flop does to the average person, like in terms of maybe something household, like a light switch or something, like how would you explain a T flip-flop? Because to me, a light switch is more like a lever in Minecraft, right? Do I have that correct? This is a really technical conversation for Friday, but MindTripMedia, 100 bits, and you're lurking. Thanks for the lurk. Appreciate it. All the eyeballs help, even if you're looking over my shoulder. MindTripMedia, are you a software engineer as well? I know you probably can't answer, but. Yeah, this is all feeling pretty familiar. So one downside about these ship designs from Star Wars is that very often the ships are symmetrical, as you would expect them to be. And so you end up, if you've got 4 wings or 2 wings or whatever, you end up doing the same pattern over and over again. I do remember this part that's coming up though, and it's pretty cool. Try not to miss any. I find that with the roll of the book, as I get closer to the end, I end up missing pieces sometimes. Not sure I can explain it that well, but a flip-flop in a circuit involves several gates or transistors. 2 inputs are used to change the state of the circuit, and a couple of loops hold the state. I'd have to draw it to explain it better. Says Obu. Flip-flop. Several gates. I guess something that could be used for an example with the copper bulb would be, it requires a redstone pulse to turn it off and a redstone pulse to turn it on. And so if you had a light in your base and you had a switch at both ends, you could then turn that light on and off from either end, where if that bulb was a regular redstone lamp, you wouldn't be able to do that. Because once it's turned on at one end, you can't turn it off at the other. You have to go back to the spot where you turned it on. But that's not necessarily a T flip-flop, that's just like a 2-faceted switch, I guess. I think from what I guess I could gather is that a T flip-flop in Minecraft Redstone is meant to be taking something that only generates a pulse and turning it into a consistent flow. And then if you send another pulse, it would then turn off that consistent flow. Does that sound right? That copper bulb analogy gave me staircase circuits vibes, Joel. Staircase circuits? I don't know what that means. Mumbo did this really cool thing where he was sending pulses through a huge array of copper bulbs, and what was happening was that it was creating words. So like he was using the lights to create signage, and I kind of wonder, depending on, I guess it would be really complicated to get it to say different things, but it was cool nonetheless. If you didn't want to change the word and you just wanted to have the lights animated, it was really simple to just attach them to a redstone clock. So I could see it in something like a cyberpunk build where you might want your signs to be animated. I mean, any kind of animation or movement in Minecraft is always a very cool thing. That is the wrong size. How's that for moves? Seven, one of these, and one of those. That is an accurate description, says Obu. It differs from a digital flip-flop in that only one input changes state, where in a flip-flop, one input turns it on and a different one turns it off. When you say that second flip-flop, you mean from Minecraft? There's a bit of a delay too, so I'm not sure which description I got right. Was it the hallway light thing? Or was it the pulse generating a consistent flow? A or B? One of the downsides of having a bit of a delay on stream, of course, is trying to have those conversations. But at the same time, it's also pretty cool that I've got viewers from around the world. You know, the delay is a little long, but it usually means that it's from someplace super cool, like Australia or Hong Kong or something. A lot of podcast listeners from Singapore, which is cool. Break time when you're ready, says Cosmic. That's a good idea. I'll finish these 2 pages and then I'll go on break. For folks that are new, if you happen to be tuning in for the first time, I like to take a break once an hour. It gives me a chance to stretch my legs. My coffee is also empty, so I will be able to grab more of that. Gives you a chance to give yourself a break, grab a drink, maybe even grab a friend, let them know that we're streaming, and how much fun it is to be here. I maybe added that last part myself, but you know, to each their own. Cool. All right, folks, I will be back in about 5 or 6 minutes to finish up the wing. All right, let's see. Building the engines. Click. Thank you, Blast, Cosmic and Dan. So one of the things I have to do behind the scenes for my Minecraft streams now is I have to either figure out the technical stuff to stream to a Twitch soundtrack channel so that there's music live during the streams, but no music on the VOD. And I only play music in my Minecraft streams on my starting soon, break, and end screens. But the idea is that I'm getting copyright strikes on YouTube, which are inaccurate because the person doing the copyright strikes or the person claiming that the music is theirs is not the copyright holder. It's a royalty-free piece of music, and it's just another YouTube channel that is basically probably incorrectly attributed their content, and YouTube algorithm just being dumb is flagging it, and so I need to remove the music from the VODs, which is not a huge deal from a viewership standpoint, because of course I would imagine most people, when they get to that section of the VOD, they just fast forward 5 or 6 minutes and skip the break, right? Like, they don't watch. So there's no content that's missing, and YouTube is really accurate at removing that music in that it doesn't affect anything else in the video. So I've just been doing that, but the problem is I have, now these are not just the Minecraft streams, but I have over 700 streams that I've been doing ever since I've been recording them and archiving them, and a good chunk of those are Minecraft streams. So I have to go back through the YouTube catalog and I have to mute the music on every back channel VOD that I've got if I want to have any of those have any advertisements on them. So I'm not quite yet ready for advertising, but it's coming up soon. I've only got, I think, 40 more subscribers on YouTube. It's youtube.com/JoelDugganVods, if people didn't know. Something like Tadpole? Yeah, because Tadpole listens to, like, hits from the 80s or something. Like, he listens to proper music, not royalty-free stuff. And then they're out of his VODs. I think a lot of people do that. I just don't have any music that I like enough to listen to. The other thing, too, is that I would really like to be able to put music... And now that I'm using OBS Studio, I should be able to put music into the stream and not hear it myself. And I think I can do that with the Twitch soundtrack channel that's in Streamlabs OBS. No, sorry, that's in OBS Studio. I just have to look up a couple YouTube videos about how to do it, that's all. Captain Gave, thanks for the sub on YouTube. Appreciate it. I really like it when LEGO does stuff like that. I think that looks really cool. Little angles on the plates. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Yeah, I don't think that there's going to be anything major happening on YouTube in terms of I'm not going to be getting a ton of revenue, but as a content creator, like any little income stream that you can add to your repertoire will ultimately help longevity. And so, you know, we do pretty well on the spawn chunks, but it's not nearly going to be the same for me. I wish I had time to return to edited YouTube videos for Minecraft or something. I feel like I'm missing that level of discovery, and in some ways, like it's me needing to like get some of my clips on platforms like TikTok and whatnot. We're actually I don't know whether he posted it or not, but Pixelriffs and I have been working behind the scenes on a YouTube short. Which is a clip. There's a clip of the audio from the show, and they don't give you a lot of room visually to do stuff, so it's kind of nice to know, you know, working on that with the spawn chunks when it comes time for me to do my own visual stuff for my own TikTok or YouTube shorts or whatever, that I'll be able to do it. These are the counterbalance wings? Yeah, these are the top wings. We're on the top wings now. The other two wings are already on. I don't know if they're called the counterbalance wings. I think they're just the way that it's set up. That's how it kind of balances out the mechanism inside. Always thought this is a neat way of connecting pieces. It's a very slick way of creating that shape in Lego. Seven, two. Oops. 4, 6, 7. That was just how I called them for myself, more related to this model than in the universe logic. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we're doing the top wings. Top wings is what we are working on. And I think we're probably going to finish them because we're almost done this one, right? Again, small complaint, but I wish that was tight and it didn't jiggle around. Did you find that, Meadow, when you built this, that they jiggled around? The little, I'm not sure what they're called, the little rings, little cylinders that you put on here? Speaking of 80s music that Tadpole plays, this sort of feels like an 80s track. Like an 80s opening movie montage or something. The old synthesizers. This actually feels a little bent. Your streams actually kind of introduced me to building sets, so that's cool, Meadow. I always just knew mocks. Oh, you just like building your own stuff? Oh, you haven't built this set. Okay. Blast Jordan, as always, appreciate you being here. I know you are up late. Have a good one. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. There we go. It's a lot of detail on these. They look really good. And then this goes on the end. That goes on the wing. Again, I always forget that this is the trailing edge, not the leading edge. My terrestrial aircraft brain thinks it looks like a fighter jet when it's not. So, instead of doing these two steps, I know how they go, I'm going to build the other wing, and then we'll put them both on at the same time. Because I think moving that thing around more than once, when it's going to have 2 wings on one side and 1 on the other, I think it's going to be really lopsided in terms of like weight, and I don't want to drop it. So we'll do that at the end, and I'll move on to do the other wing. I'll set this stuff aside. That's the final wing as we've got it, and then these will attach it. And then of course this is the end of the blasters. I don't remember what they're called, but they're some sort of lasers. They have a name, I'm sure. So we are on page 274. Oh, there is a bag 10. That's the engines, it looks like. See the little pink pieces. If I dropped it, you would have more content to cover? Oh, if I dropped it, I would not be building it again on stream. That would be the end of the stream day. I'm seeing a few different pieces in here. Pink? Yeah, they're like pink translucent. Be like the glow of the engines is essentially what they are. You know, I just realized, saying the word glow, that the other content that I do have for the Friday LEGO Let's Chat is the 2 LED kits that I have for Ecto 1 and for the Lighthouse, which were lovely, generous gifts from the one and only Cosmic Dancer. So there is still more LEGO-esque content. I don't know how... I'd have to remember to read those instructions before LEGO Day just to make sure that they are something that I feel like I could do on stream. They might be a little bit technical. Spending an hour reading instruction manuals live on stream does not sound entertaining and or relaxing. So we'll have to see. Yeah, you're right, J. Chris. The engines do glow. They're not red. They're 100% like a pinky glow to them. I'm trying to remember what the back of a TIE fighter looks like, but I know that the name TIE comes from twin ion engines, but I don't remember whether the back of the TIE fighters are blue. Like, I don't remember what their engines look like. I know what they sound like. I don't remember what they look like. Because an ion cannon generally in Star Wars has like a white-blue kind of like electricity look to it. Because that's what they used when they were on Hoth to disable the Star Destroyers to escape. Unfortunately, it's a bit of deja vu. Maybe I'll try something a little bit different this time. For anybody wondering, when I talk about things like the Discord or other things like that, you can get access by either subbing here on Twitch, or you can check out patreon.com/JoelDuggan. It's a great way to join the community. It's less than a coffee a month in terms of the cost. It's consistent, it renews automatically, and then not only do you get access to things like the Discord and all the channels that are open to a member for just the Joel Duggan on Patreon, but you also get access to live recordings of the Citadel Cafe podcast. I share the Discord between the Citadel Cafe and my own personal Patreon. Thanks for the link in chat, Cosmic. Appreciate it. Hey, there's McScrewgunn. How's it going? So hopefully this will come together quite quickly, seeing as we've done now. This will be our fourth wing. I guess we'll start with these. There. Yeah, I was looking for other Lego Star Wars sets, but the only one that they've come out with recently that cool is the giant Venator class Star Destroyer. So like I have nowhere to put that, and I can't afford it anyway. That would be an irresponsible decision. But yeah, I have not seen any like Starfighters. I mean, really, I think we might have run the gambit. Like I think they might have updated all of the classic Star Wars stuff in the last little while, so it might be a long time before Lego does more. Cosmic, I saw that you were excited about the new potted flowers set from Lego Icons. It's really cool looking. The detail that they fit in those is just amazing. Maybe we'll do. Captain gave him, assuming you're being sarcastic. I'm assuming you were going online and not to a Lego store? What do you mean? There's no Lego store for me here locally, so I can't buy it any other way. And I'm in Canada for people that don't know, so any prices that I mention are in Canadian. I feel like this is coming together smoother than last time. It is a really calming exercise. Got a funny feeling that these are going to come in handy. No, I don't keep track of the retired sets. I guess it depends on where you're at, like in terms of the availability. But I would imagine most people probably just get them online, because Lego, at least Lego in Canada, the Lego.ca, it's free shipping. Which, I mean, I think that's fantastic, because otherwise people would just be getting them off of Amazon, right? Because some of the sets are they're large boxes. What other little dinky things can I fit in there? Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else either. Like when I was looking at other Lego sets, like there wasn't any like non-Star Wars stuff that appealed. It's the kind of thing where like I'm also at a point where I'm potentially moving in the next year. Fingers crossed. And so, you know, the more stuff like that I end up getting and building and storing, that it's more that I have to move. So I'm trying to think a little bit like ahead of things. There's a couple of Lego cars that are neat. Steven and I talked about those on the Citadel Cafe in the Internet Minute. The set that I flagged for the Internet Minute for November 1st is from Dune. They have the Ornithopter. I didn't realize that Lego had got the Dune license. It's a peculiar, like, that doesn't strike me as like a crazy popular IP. I didn't particularly like the new movie. I don't think I disliked it, but I don't remember going like, yeah, that was great. It is kind of interesting how you can lay out 4 wings that are almost essentially the same, but you end up with a different layout every time just because of forgetfulness. Like, I didn't memorize the last time I nulled everything out, right? Like, I'm just kind of doing whatever kind of comes to my mind spatially as I'm going. A lot of movie sets that you can get. I've been getting the Formula 1 cars and such that Lego puts out. Those are pretty cool too. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Technic stuff. What was the last vehicle that I think Steven and I were gushing over? I think it was the Land Rover. That was the one we thought were pretty cool. Funny, Steven is not a car guy, but those are like vehicles are basically all of his Lego sets. They're all like, it's like Ecto 1, a Vespa, and then I don't know if there's another one. Thought he had 3. But we were looking at the Land Rover. That was the one that caught our attention. Just in terms of like the scale and the build detail and things like that. See if we can squeeze all these in here. Remember these, I guess this is because it's been, I think the first time we built a wing like this, I think it was the first wing. I think the first wing and the 4th wing are mirrors of each other, maybe? I mean, we're about to find out. It's been weirdly warm here in Nova Scotia the last few days. It's been like 20 degrees, which is well outside the normal. And as a result, like all the birds are out chirping and stuff, which is, it's not a normal November, October noise. Like it's more of a springtime thing. So it's really strange to be sitting here at the window open, fan going, and then listening to birds chirping when fall is not normally when you hear all that. Volkswagen bus, that was the other one, Dan, that Steven built. That's right. Yep, that's right. All right, that is bag number 9. And it was like 274, I think was the page. Bag number 9. Deja vu. Meadow, you just turned on the heat for the first time? Yeah. There's been a couple of really chilly days. I don't have the heat on. I just have... Well, technically I have it on so that the pipes don't freeze, but I don't have it on to a temperature where it will actually turn on and start to increase the heat. My apartment space, my kitchen living room is all one room, so on a daily basis, whenever I cook, I tend to heat up the apartment pretty well. I'm really feeling self-conscious about missing pieces in the fold of the book now. I'd say we are probably going to finish this today, because the bag number 10 did not look very big. Oh, that's supposed to be a white piece. Looks kind of gray in the instruction booklet. Yeah, if you're outside for a long period of time. I had a walk home from the gym. I want to say it was Monday night. Because like even though it's 20 degrees 20 degrees? I guess it's like 18 or something today. But even though it's 18 today, walking home Monday night in the dark from the gym, it was only like 5 degrees. I had a hoodie with me, but I was carrying groceries and I didn't have any gloves with me. And one of the routes that I take just takes me over a big hill by the grocery store, and so it was windy at the top, and so it was unpleasant, to say the least. That is not the right one. This feels at least a little bit different compared to the last one. Some of the patterns are different. I mean, like, it's backwards, so like it's facing a different direction, obviously. So that is at least good. These pieces are really cool. And then we've got this piece here. 6, yeah. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the winter months. I mean, obviously there's Metro Transit, you know, there's all kinds of different ways that I can get around, but one of the things that I've been really enjoying about my training the last 6 months has been the extra cardio from walking to and from the gym. And it fits it all into one nice little package. And if I take transit to the gym, then I usually then have to do some sort of cardio or other thing while I'm there, which is fine. It's probably faster in terms of the time sink, but then again, like, you've got to wait for transit schedules coming back, so like it all depends on that timing. The other thing is just that I find really strange is that the gym membership is very affordable. It's only like $7 every 2 weeks or something, and then one way, maybe 2 ways, but one way on the bus is like $250. So like an entire week of busing is like the same cost as your monthly membership or more. Well, monthly would be 14. So yeah, maybe 2 weeks. The bottom line is that getting to and from costs more than actually the membership, which is, I think, the way it should be. I think that fitness should be accessible to everybody, and having affordable memberships, I think, is great. I used to work at a gym when I first finished school, and after working for that company, I refused to join the gym after I stopped working there because of how much they charged. It was just ridiculous. But then this other company came along and all worked out. It's a very decent rate, Meadow. Like 100%. Meadow says normally we keep the kids inside during the bad weather, but today there was a citywide cleanup day. Since we have signed up with 10 kids, I had to take them out. Okay. Had a blast. You not so much. Yeah, the kids are indestructible sometimes when it comes to cold. I remember playing outside for hours in the snow. I mean, we were properly dressed for it, but like different times, you know, like I wouldn't sit outside in the snow now. That said, even as a teenager, I never minded shoveling the driveway. It just, I like a good bit of physical labor workout, you know, and I was helping out my mom at the time, you know, like I really didn't mind. But I wasn't outside for hours and hours. It would be an hour, but not like 3 or 4. Getting out of the membership here is not a pain at all, JPrice. That's a simple cancellation. What I like so much about the company that I'm working out with now is that it's everything's online, so I don't have to talk to anybody. I mean, I can. They have somebody at the desk if I really want to. But what I like so much about it is like if during I started going back into the gym and lifting seriously. Just before COVID hit, so obviously the gyms were in the province were closed, and they automatically froze, you know, your account and stuff like that. But like if I wanted to go on vacation for a month somewhere and I just didn't have, I just wasn't going to be here, I just pop online and freeze the membership. It's that simple. And then when I'm back, I unfreeze it. I think you can set like specific days as well, but I've only ever done it when there was like another lockdown or something. More break time when you're ready. Thank you, Cosmic. That is so easy. I need to move to Canada. Yeah. I think you just need to look around for the right kind of spot, you know, to be a member of. A little bit of extra shopping. I'd say that's probably a good spot to take that break just so I don't lose my place. Cool. So again, folks, I take a break once an hour. It gives me a chance to grab a stretch. You can do the same, grab a drink, maybe even tell a friend that we're streaming. We're trying to grow the viewership on the channel, so I would appreciate it if you went to Instagram and shared the story, or went to Twitter and shared the post, and just let some friends know that I'm live. And I'll be back in 5 or 6 minutes. All right, right where we left off. I don't imagine it'll take this long to, or take very long to get these wings attached. I think we'll probably have to attach them before we do bag 10, would be my guess. Getting ahead of myself, it looks like. That goes like that. Thank you, Cosmic. Now, last time this was the long one, I think. I grabbed the wrong one last time. Now I've got to figure out where I'm going to put this thing. Or rather, I know where I'm going to put it. It's going to go next to my TV, but I currently have the Shuttle Discovery and Ecto 1 on either side of my TV. So I need to figure out where to put Ecto 1. And that's not a small build. That's a big kit to try to find a spot for. Above the TV, there's no place to put anything above the TV. I don't have any shelving above the TV. I do have to rearrange some stuff, I think. Starting to get rid of a few things in the apartment. I think this winter one of my tasks is to get the spare room sorted out. Oh, that's where I'm currently storing a lot of things. It'll be nice to downsize a little bit, because in the event that I am able to move in the spring, it just means that I will have a lot less to pack if I take the time to get rid of some stuff. I also like having a nice clean viewing experience with my TV. The only thing that's in and around my TV when it's up near the screen is the LED lights that are behind it. I should say that the TV is on like a TV stand, and then Ecto 1 and the X-wing and the Shuttle Discovery are kind of like next to the stand. They're not next to the TV, so they're like down out of view, I guess. Yeah, this is different. The other ones had gray on them. I don't know if I've ever noticed that in the films, that the X-wings had like different colors on their engines. Maybe that's some creative license that they took with the Lego set. There was one set that I thought needed more color, and I can't remember what it was. Not Ahsoka Shuttle. There was definitely one of them, though. I feel like it was recent. Does anybody remember what Lego set that I thought needed more color? Maybe it was the Ahsoka set. Is anyone playing any good new video games that have come out? I've noticed that Xbox has been adding a bunch of stuff that I don't recognize to Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, I don't remember this at all. That's new. I do like the fact that this makes it a little bit more asymmetrical. That's cool. Right now I'm still playing from time to time Borderlands 3. I think I've caught up to where I was last time. I just find that the times that I've had to play, I've been super tired, so I've been doing other things. I know Cities Skylines 2 has come out, but I don't like, well, that, I mean, it's not part of Game Pass. But I found that game gets a little frustrating. Like I find that I want to do more creatively in Cities Skylines, and then I find that the way that the game lets you build doesn't like it doesn't necessarily do what you expect it to do. I find you're kind of forced to put things places. You know, like the things are arbitrarily larger than you want them to be, and they don't fit in the grids, and I don't know, I find it strange. It's not as I prefer, like, in terms of games like that, I prefer Satisfactory, I think, to City Skylines. Dan Grice says, apart from wanting City Skylines 2, but not on Xbox until spring 2024. Yeah, that's not a game that I would want to play on an Xbox. I think City Skylines is a much better PC experience. Maybe I'm alone in that. Need a beefy PC? Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that too. I've seen Total Eclipse has posted some videos, I think sponsored by City Skylines 2, where they go over like tips to get better frame rates. I'm just like, my gosh, if a city builder is giving your computer frame rate issues, like, I really wish that game companies would stop building games like on the absolute brink of technology, because then everybody's gonna get like the latest video cards. Like, it's such a tech game of leapfrog. we're doing this. Yeah, I don't really have any other city builders. There's a couple of games that I saw at the Xbox showcase this summer, but like they're not coming out until spring or summer 2024. So there's nothing on my immediate radar. I don't remember what else was advertised for coming out to Xbox Game Pass anytime soon. But I think like I just had that itch after watching like a bunch of people like Mumbo and Exumavoid and Pixel Riffs do stuff with the crafter in Minecraft and YouTube videos, and I want to do some like technical stuff. And I think that's probably why I'm being drawn back into Satisfactory in my head. But I've also been in the mood for something like an RPG, like an MMO or something like that. I noticed that, is it Red Dead Redemption 2 is on sale on Xbox right now? So it's not part of Game Pass. It was. I should have played it when I had a chance, but it's on sale right now for like 25 bucks, I think, Canadian. Yes, we go back and forth on these. Starting with blue. I don't remember this from the movie either. I don't remember them having alternate colors. But I could be wrong. Oh, I did too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Couple games on Xbox that costs, but they're out of my price range at the moment. Yeah, I have a limit too. I don't remember the last time I paid full price for a game. I don't know. I've never been on like the bleeding edge of what's new, so I also just think that because I enjoy video games, but they're not like something I spend all of my time doing, despite the fact that I do it for part of my job. Like with Minecraft taking up so much time, I find it difficult to justify the $90 to $100 or $80 to $100, I guess, in Canada on like next gen, not next, well, yeah, current gen AAA titles, you know. One of them that I just installed, actually, that came out last year or 2 years ago? 2 years ago, is Gotham Knights. But I heard there were problems with that, so I don't know what to expect from it. But that'll be a fun kind of like fighting game. But I don't know. I don't know what to expect from it. So we'll see. I like the other Gotham games, except for Gotham Knight. The latest one with the car and the scarecrow. Didn't like it. The forced driving missions were awful. Yeah, this is different than the last one we did. Doesn't have a lot of gray in the back of it. There we go. And then this one gets added on. So we'll do both of these at once. And I'll have to look to see what the last bits are going to be, because I think it's probably going to be easier to do that once it's all attached. So to see here. Yeah, it's going to be easier to do these, I think. Well, you know, I think we can just assemble these 4 parts and then put it all together. I think that'll be the thing to do. So I've got a lot of spare bits here, but I know what they're for. So that I can set aside. And so we'll return to assemble and do the blasters. But then I'll just move on to bag 10 right now. Yeah, there's not a lot in here. 308. All right, got 4 of these guys. A couple of those are 100% bent. Hopefully they'll straighten out. Oh yeah, there's only a handful of pieces in here. It's crazy that we're at the end of this. This is a big build. I don't think it's not the biggest that I've done, but it's certainly up there. There's the pink engines. There are a fair amount of little pieces, I guess. Why are there only... Oh, I would say, why is there only 3 of those? That's not good. A lot of little grippy pieces. It's funny, from all the front images of the X-wing on the box, you can't really see the engine, so I have no idea what these are going to look like. It's going to be fun to build them. Wow, that's a lot. That's not straight. Yeah, that is a whole lot of stuff. Could I do that differently? One of the things I've been wanting to do over the last couple of months, which I haven't got to yet, is I want to go back and rewatch the Star Wars saga, because they're available now, I think, in 4K on Disney Plus, and I've got a 4K TV, and I've never seen them at that resolution. And Steven ESC has never seen episode 3. So I was thinking it'd be fun to kind of get together with him and just like watch the, I guess, the prequels to start. He had mentioned also that his family isn't like super into Star Wars, so. Be a nice break from the norm. Weird how these little claw pieces are really hard to keep straight. Not very often you see pieces like this in LEGO. They almost look like shingles. Oops. These are so busy, it's almost hard to look at them. Try to figure out which way is correct orientation. Looks like we have 4 of everything though. Your 6-year-old wants to see the original Star Wars series. Interesting. I don't remember how old I was when I first saw it. I was definitely young. I don't know if it was 6. I would say even that the prequels are almost more kind of violent than the originals. Well, I guess there's still hands being cut off and stuff in the original trilogy as well. Obi-Wan Kenobi takes no prisoners. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. I saw a social media post where someone was talking about their favorite Jedi and who was the best and all that kind of stuff. And the way that they presented it, I thought they did a really good argument. And you would think most of the time that a lot of people my age would think that Luke Skywalker is their favorite Jedi. But now that we've got all this extra content with the Clone Wars and with Kenobi and Mandalorian and extra Luke Skywalker stuff, I think that Kenobi is my favorite Jedi. You're always partial to Kenobi? Right on, yeah. Great minds think alike, I guess. This is bag number 10. Don't want to miss a beat. I have to do this 4 times. Prize. 4 of these. Let's try this in this specific order. So we'll get 4 of those. All 4 of these. I guess I don't really have to pull them down. We can just kind of do this all at one time. Rotate around. Yeah, I think especially since the Kenobi series, and when you put into context, you know, that combined with the things that Kenobi went through in the Clone Wars series, I think it's a really solid character. Like, unwavering. For sure. Eight of these, and these go underneath here. And that attaches here. These little 1x1s are not straight and it drives me a little crazy. Ewan McGregor is great as Obi. I agree. I think, and in part, I think it's the delivery, and I think also, unfortunately, in the sequels, the writing for Luke Skywalker is terrible. And I didn't know this, but I saw some behind-the-scenes interview stuff, and apparently Mark Hamill was really not on board with Rian Johnson's decisions and how he wanted to handle the character. And I mean, like, to Hamill's credit, he just did his job and did what the director wanted. But like, I agree with Hamill. I think that Johnston really mishandled that character. Four of those. Four of these. That said, I really like Rey. I think Rey is a great character. Maybe not her origin, not the most imaginative, but as a character and as Daisy Ridley as an actor, I'm very excited about the next chapter, whatever they're going to do with like a Jedi Academy that's led by Rey. I think that's an interesting idea. So I'd assume that there's a spot for some LEDs here later on down the line. I need to apply those other LED kits first, of course, and see how they work out. How far those are supposed to go in. Okay, that's 4 of those. And these are symmetrical. Sort of. I find that these plastic shafts, they've got like a top and bottom where you can see the mold points, the plastic, so I try to keep those on the bottom, and that's just a weird little thing that I try to do. One, two, three, 4. And then 4 of these. These are also go that way. It's the ending of Rey you didn't like, Dan? Well, you mean the ending with Rey. Is Rey still alive? Yeah. The thing that was a bit disappointing to me, I think it was still executed well, but I think that the how do I want to say this? The idea of Palpatine coming back, I thought, was not great. But if you're going to do it, I think they did it well. I just wish they hadn't done it. You know, but I think that's where they're correcting now, and I think that's why you're seeing Thrawn come back, is I think that the powers that be understand that Thrawn is a much better, and a new villain, you know, rather than just recycling the old. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this thing. These things, they're such little increments, but they really start to add up into a lot of detail. Oh, come on. Trying to maintain like a top as well, direction on these. Oh, you didn't like the fact that she called herself a Skywalker? I think she can call herself whatever she wants. And I think that's where I think that they should have done something different with her origin. Because I think, given the origin that they gave her, I prefer she would call herself a Skywalker rather than a Palpatine, because she's not a Palpatine. She's a daughter of a clone. So, yeah, I don't... I think that it would have been better if she wasn't a Skywalker, but I think they should have come up with her own legacy. I think that would have been something. Because I think given the nature of the family legacy, I guess we'll call it, of a Skywalker, I think that that's a misnomer. So I think that that sets like an expectation. So yeah, I see what you mean there. And these go on. Did I do that right? Yes. You forget how long the engines are on an X-wing. Hope they get fatter. No, I guess they're not. Interesting. Out here. Yeah, I didn't really mind Rise of Skywalker as a film. I thought it was better, certainly better than oh, what's the second one called? Episode 8. Something Jedi? I don't remember. The Last Jedi? Yeah. I've just come to realize I don't think I like Johnson as a director. That's where they go. Oh, I see where those go now. Okay. We need to put all these little bits on. Did I miss a step? I missed a step. Crap. That's annoying. The glare of the light. Trying to line up all these little notches. These do look pretty cool. And this stuff is going to make a neat effect as well. A lot of tension on that. I didn't much like the sequel trilogy, says JPrice. I like Rey and Finn. See, I didn't like Finn at all. But I think that's at the hands of the writing for him. I wasn't a big fan of Boyega's delivery, but I feel like his hands were kind of tied. I also really haven't appreciated, you know, the way that he's carried himself, just as a, you know, in interviews and stuff. Not my favorite guy. But hey, I'm not an actor, so. Wasn't opposed to the concept of those films, that the execution was lacking. Yeah, the concept of the first one wasn't the best. It was a giant nostalgia fest, and they really didn't go too far outside the box. And then these, we just attach 4. These just get attached like this. This is a neat way to do it. Interesting that we're using the underside of the Lego slab as the decorative part. A cool idea. Trying to make sure those are roughly in the middle. And then we just close them up, it looks like. Yeah, that's cool. It's a neat way to do it. I feel like I've done something similar. I think it was the engines on the Razor Crest. I think the... Oh, you know what it was? I remember now. I just... The ship that I was complaining that they just released a new version of... Did I do this wrong? I did that backwards. Is the Ghost. The Lego Ghost. It's all gray. It's the one... No. The Lego Ghost is fine. The Ghost in Ahsoka is very gray. The model that they used in the show. That's where my brain was going on that. The model that they used in the Ahsoka show for the Ghost, the ship, it's all gray. And the Ghost in the cartoons had a lot of color to it. And I think that there's plenty of color in Star Wars. Like, the Venator class ships have like maroon pieces on them. The clone troopers all have colors. Like, I think they could have given the Ghost some paint, you know. Even Thrawn's ship had paint on the bottom of it, you know. I felt like that was a missed opportunity. This is slow going, but it's a really satisfying process. So I've had a look around, and I think what I'm going to do is we're going to just finish this today, and then that'll be the end of the stream day. But I've noticed that there's a couple people playing Cities Skylines 2, and then of course regular folks on my raid list that are playing Minecraft. So I'm curious if folks want to put up a poll maybe in chat and let me know what you might want to be sent on to. There's only well, there's a decent amount of people here, I guess, but I'd be happy to send you along to whatever you prefer. I Am Kibitz is a great streamer, really fun dude. He's playing Cities Skylines 2. Tadpole Milk is playing Minecraft. I believe there's a couple of other people that are live playing Minecraft as well. I know we brought up Cities Skylines 2 a couple times in chat, so if folks are in that mindset, I can always send you on there. Whoops. Well, that is pretty cool. And I guess I should probably build the laser bits too. Poll is up. Thank you, Cosmic. No. Oh, I see it. I think this might be a spare piece anyway. Okay. Back this up. There it is there. We need 2 of these. That's just... This goes in like that, and then the flippers go on the bottom. Like that, and then there's just the straight bit on the top. Rooster Mug, hello, good to see you. You're having a good day. About the same. And those are our spare pieces, it looks like. All right, assembly time. Let's stick that in there. Very carefully with 2 hands. Yeah, this barely fits. That's something I need to look up and maybe make some adjustments is as I make some changes. Maybe as this is one of our last Lego sets, we still have a couple more little things, but as this is one of our last things, maybe what I'll do is adjust the height of the camera and maybe have like a broader section. All right, this was the last wing that we did. This was the other one. So I think this one goes up here because I think the stripes are the opposites. Yeah, the stripes go on the top right here. So we know how to attach these. Trick is going to be, can we do it one-handed? Oh. That was easier than anticipated. Yeah, very wobbly. Yep, very, very wobbly. I'm glad I decided to do this all at once. All right, those are attached. Now, does this work? Oh yeah, there you go. Tack position. Then yeah, they don't really stay super shut. I think I've done that right. There's a big gap here I'm not so sure about. I mean, really, it's probably easier to... Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't think if they went in any further that they would be more stable. The pole is split, says Cosmic. Okay. Well, this is going to be hard to see on stream, but these back pieces get attached. Down the end here. So this goes this way, attaches here, and then this one gets flipped and attached at the bottom. Yep, that looks right. Oh, weird. They're not it's not a mirror of the design. Huh. An interesting choice. Okay. And then these don't really matter. They just get stuck in the back here. And I'm assuming these kind of provide some sort of support. Go that way. Well, that's pretty stable. Oh, where's the hole for that one? Yeah, you don't think about the X-wing having such a long engine exhaust, right? Or propulsion. I'm not sure what you'd call that. Oh, I just bent something on the front of it. I think that's the thing that's so tricky about this, is that there's not a space to really put your hand. Yeah, that's just completely come off. Go. Yeah, there's not a lot of places that you can apply pressure. Yeah, I don't know about the mechanism of it. I mean, I think I'll probably have it displayed with the S-foils in attack position. All right, last but not least, these last little bits. And I think the idea with these is that you want to try to make them straight up and down so that they don't touch. Although I don't know if that's possible. Even though the wings are not touching when they're closed like this, they're at least open the same distance on both sides. So it's at least symmetrical in that way. It would be a little tight to start, but loosen up over time. Nope. Nope, they don't go completely together. They don't actually touch. It's about a 1/4 inch, I guess. Byron Zendal, welcome in. 300 Lego sets. Holy smokes. That's a lot. Good for you, man. Alright. And then we've got... Where'd Skywalker go? There he is. This goes here. He goes there. And I think if I turn this sideways, we can fit the whole thing in, but maybe not. Nope. Not even close. I could when there was only one wing on it. This is not the place for that, Fyron. Not the place. Oh yeah, it's gonna be hard to get the whole thing. But there is engines to nose. And then if I turn it this way, you'll get to see the whole wingspan. Yep, it's big. It's heavy too, it's hard to slide around. And like I mentioned, we also have this function. They start to come back together after you go so far. Yeah, I'm not crazy about that. It's a little loose. I feel like they could have come up with a better mechanism. But I'm not going to be touching it, really. But it definitely looks cooler and more iconic with the wings apart. as like a display. You can see how wobbly it is though, like because of the adjustment we had to make on the stand, because the stand breaks the model. Like if I just move it, like you can see how it wobbles back and forth. I don't think that would happen if the stand was farther up inside the fuselage, but because of the modification we had to make because of the error, which we looked up online, that's not an option. So, I mean, again, I'm not going to be moving this. Once it's in its place, it's staying in its place. But yeah, hard to even fit on the screen. However, that is the end of the stream, and this is a really fun set. It was really fun to build. Lots of really intricate details. I really like what they did with the colors and the plating and the details on the wings, especially. I really like the maroon stuff, and the engine details along here were really cool as well. Yeah, it's the same size as the Shuttle Discovery. It's 21 inches, I think, from engine to tip, nose cone. Anyway, folks, if you would be interested in supporting this kind of stuff, you can check out patreon.com/JoelDuggan. It's one of the best ways to support me and your favorite streamers. You can also, of course, follow on social media, Joel Duggan, across all of the things. Most active on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. I do free podcasts once a week. The Spawn Chunks is about Minecraft. That's at thespawnchunks.com. And the Citadel Cafe is about sci-fi and fantasy entertainment, just like Star Wars. And that's at thecitadelcafe.com or wherever you find your podcasts. Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, wherever. We are available all over the place. You can, of course, expect more Minecraft from me this weekend. Saturday at 1 o'clock, Sunday at 1 o'clock. I will be streaming live from the Citadel. And that's UTC minus 3 hours, of course. You can expect, I hope, more Lego next week. We have the little Death Star set, the Death Star 2 set that came with this as like a gift of purchase. So I'll be able to put that together next week. And then we're probably going to be exploring some of the LED kits that I have. So I'll get back to you on what's that going to look like. Anyway, hope you had a fantastic afternoon. We're going to pass you along to I Am Kibitz, who is playing Cities Skylines 2. Kibitz is a fellow Canadian and a great streamer. Very entertaining. I think you'll have a good time. I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks everyone so much for hanging out. Bye for now.